Thank you, Sivik, and thank you, Mr. Afte, for giving us this opportunity to be here today. And I'd like to thank PMI for letting me speak on one of my favorite topics, which is about team building and specifically high performance team building. So, before I start, I'd like to give you a brief introduction about myself. So, as you know by now, that my name is Ajay Malik. I have been with IBM India for almost 7 years. This is my 8th year with IBM. I joined IBM as a project manager, and slowly I moved into delivery. And right now I'm managing one of the prestigious accounts for IBM as the delivery head. Before IBM, I was with the General Electric Group, GE, again for almost 8 years, and worked there in various capacity in India and US. And this project management actually kicked into me back in 2005 when I was working for GE Insurance Solutions in US, and I did my PMP certification that time. Since then, I have been practicing the project management practices from PMI. Also, IBM got its own good, I would say, processes around project management. They are again based on PMI. So that's about me. Won't take much time. I think I'll start with the presentation now. So we'll discuss what is a high-performing team, how do we build a high-performing team, and what is the a project leader or a program manager or a project manager role in enhancing the creativity and innovation among that team. So, well, the topic has been capacity building, but I believe that if you want to build a good capacity or you want to have a good team in place, I think you need to go through some of these key items, and if we are actually going through these items, following it religiously, I think we won't have a capacity crunch for our projects, for the delivery of our projects. So, what is a high-performing team? So, while the name itself, high-performing team, says about the team itself, but a high-performing team is something which share a common purpose. That means generally in projects we would try to have resources as soon as possible. The client is sitting on the head asking that, okay, when are you starting? Are you in line with the timelines or not? And then we try to grab the resources from all over the place, try to form a team, and then bang on and we start. Client is happy, but internally we know we just gathered the team. They might not be the right skill set, they might not be fitting the bill. So how do we kind of take all these things together? So anyway, we have to work with the team. So at least what we can do, we should share a sense of common purpose among all the team members. They should understand what is the goal we want to achieve as part of this project delivery. This team, they would even take certain calculated risk. They would try different things. They would do whatever need to be done to meet the deliverables. They would be quite flexible and creating in dealing with problems. While they are delivering, they won't take shortcuts. They will deliver as per the quality standards. So QA won't have much of the work because they are delivering as per the standards. Then to keep pace with the changing demands, to keep pace with the changing scope, this team would also change their roles and responsibilities quite often. I'll give you one example. You need two different skills in a project. Okay, in the phase one, that person could be SME in a phase one of that project when you are delivering. But in the phase two, when that technology or that particular skill set is not so well required, there could be some other SME in the phase 2, and the same person who was the SME, subject matter expert in a phase 1, might be acting maybe just a level 2 person there. So this team doesn't have that kind of issue that, okay, I have been a subject matter expert, I would like to do a simple coding work, because it's a high performing team. So no individual performer, it's about the team. And I just touched upon cross-train to support each other. So they are not just the masters of one area, they are even cross-trained. They cross-train each other. So how do we build such a team which has all these qualities? So I have tried to summarize it here, and then I'll touch upon these topics in detail. Context, and I'll talk about these items as in the subsequent slides. Clear expectations, competence, commitment, control, charter, communication, collaboration, culture, consequences, coordination, and creative innovation. So these are the 12 C's a team would require to be called as a real high-performing team. And I'll cover these items in detail now. So context. So do the team really understand the context? When they are working together, do they share the same common purpose? So I think as a project manager, as a program manager, or as a project leader, you have to ensure that the team understand what is the purpose, why they are together, what they want to deliver, so that everyone is on the same page. Then aligning the team members with the organization goal. So generally, and I face these issues in some of my projects, wherein the team member is not able to relate himself with the overall goal or with the overall deliverable, what we want to deliver. So it's the leader who should explain to each and every team member that how his or her work is going to contribute to meet the organization goal or to meet the project deliverable. So I think I touched upon this one. Then comes your clear expectations. The team should be very clear on the expectations part, that what would be the expected outcome, and specifically what resources the organization would provide. And when I say resources, it means what is our budget for that project? Do we have the sufficient budget? Do we have all the necessary skills or resources to deliver that? So all these expectations should be clarified on day one to the team. Then, do the team really understand the importance of expected results? So, we have to deliver the project, we have agreed certain deliverables with the client, but do the team also on the same page? Do they know that what is the importance if they don't meet these results, if they don't deliver as per the expectation? So I'll cover on the consequences part, but clarifying the expectations is really important. Then comes your third C, which is competence. Is it the winning combination? When you form a team, you try to get the best of the people. But then that best, is it really that winning combination? Because you need different skills in the team. They might not be best in those areas, but they should supplement each other. Does the team have the right skill set? Okay. In fact, I got a small story on this particular competence part, and I'd like to just take a few minutes to cover that. And this is about two folks One was a US Naval Academy graduate, and another one was a jet fighter pilot. So this fighter pilot, his name was Charles Plum, and he was in that on a mission. He completed around 70 combat missions, and finally he was shot down. His jet was shot down. So, but timely Plum was ejected, and he parachuted into the enemy hands, and he was in jail for around 6 years in Vietnam. Once he was out from the jail, he came back, and he was now one fine day he was spending time with his wife at a restaurant, having eating something. Suddenly a person comes there, and he asked him, "Oh, you are Plum, you are a fighter pilot." So Plum was a little surprised to know, how come this person know me? I spent 6 years in jail and I have never seen this person. How come he knows my name and all these details? So Plum asked him, "Okay, how do you know me?" That person said, "You might not remember, but I'm the person, I'm the same sailor who actually packed your parachute before you went for that, when you were shot down." So Plum was actually really, his head was down in gratitude, knowing that this person, who I don't even recall now, he was the one, because of his good work, today I am alive. Today I am still there. So I think when we are looking for a team, and we are working in a team environment, may not be everyone at the same pace, or may not be everyone having the same skill set. There may be certain people who are not at par, but I think each team member contribute in their capacity, and I think we should very well know who is packing our parachute. So that's important. Okay, let's move on. Commitment. Is the team committed? Are they really energized? Are they really committed? Are they with you? Does the team actually believes that this particular project on which they are working will help them in their career? Is it going to add value to their resume? Control. And this is, I believe, is the most important part. Controlling. Are you really holding somebody accountable? If you meet the results, still somebody would be accountable. If you don't meet the results, still somebody has to be accountable. So this is, as a project manager, I urge that identify who is the accountable person while you are delivering certain projects. Because with the accountability actually comes the responsibility, and actually the person delivers. If you don't control that part, I think you might derail your project. And related, do you have a sound mechanism to monitor and review the progress of your project? Is it actually meeting the requirements? And when I came in, I was just doing a little check with the IRIS team here, and I was trying to quiz them on some of these things, that what kind of challenges you face in today's world. And I think they also highlighted that the scope keep changing quite often. The client would request changes in the scope, and the team won't be able to cope up well with that changing scope. So I think we have to keep monitoring that what we are delivering, is it still the requirement from the stakeholders, because the stakeholders also keep changing. Then comes the charter. Now it's important that because stakeholders keep changing on the client side as well as on the delivery team as well. Okay, so we have to keep checking whether these goals or these outcomes are still required and supported by management. I've seen projects, the team has been working around the clock to deliver it. They delivered it, but finally when you go back to the client, you show them the results, they say, oh, you guys were still working on it, and okay, but we requested it last year. After that, this person moved into a different role. I don't think we were really looking for this outcome. So this happens, and that's why charter is very important, to have a charter in place so that you can take that charter as your Bible, and you know exactly what you need to deliver. Communication. And generally we say that project management is 90% about communication. And it's not just project management nowadays. With the fast changing world, I think we can touch any role, any profession. Communication is the key nowadays. Now, when I talk in this particular context for communication, do we have a right feedback mechanism? We have a number of team members working on a project. They have certain feedback to share. Is there a defined process for the team that how do they share that feedback with their project management, project manager, or with the organizational head? Then is there a regular communication between the team members itself? Because I know for Iris as well, you got a team in India, you got a team in North America, and I'm sure when you are delivering certain projects, you would have certain team members sitting here in India, you have certain team members in US. But then is the communication happening quite often between both the teams in India and US? And are there defined communication channels? Then this is about is the team getting all the information related to project. That means if there has been a change in the requirement, if there has been certain roadblocks, just make sure it's not actually just kept at the project manager level. It is being shared across with all the team members. They should be able to, each and every team member should be able to access this information as and when he or she need to. Then comes your collaboration. Then are the team members really collaborating? And it becomes more important when you are sitting in one office, you are sitting in one cubicle or one meeting room. Okay, you collaborate, you talk to each other almost every hour, you are going on a lunch together. But when the teams are sitting in different offices within the country and outside country, how do you collaborate? What mechanism you are using so that there is enough collaboration among the team members? Then obviously you must have encountered there would be conflicts in the project delivery. One team member saying, no, it has to be done this way. Other team member feels there is a better way to do it. So we need to have a conflict resolution method or certain decision making strategy, and all these things has to be the part of the planning phase itself. So generally we overlook that phase, and because we have to show certain results to the sponsor or to the client, we try to expedite through the planning phase. But believe me, if we plan well, I think rest of the phases would be quite easy for you. Then comes culture. And I think this one is really important in the current environment, because each and every organization changing today. So what is the culture in the organization? Is the organization really open to changes? Do we today take any feedback from the team or from the employees? What I do in my organization, on the floor itself, I've kept an idea box. And that idea box is, well, there are other forums where the people can share their ideas, but generally I have seen, that's my experience, that people are little hesitant to share their ideas. So that's why we kept an idea box for the team. Whatever idea you have, please, if you want to mention your name, good. If you don't want to mention your name, don't mention it, but drop your idea in the idea box. Well, these sounds a little bookish, but believe me, these are not, if you really want to try these things from your heart. And sometimes you will find certain funny ideas as well, and I can give you one example. When I asked my team that, okay, you should keep contributing to this idea box, share certain ideas, I could see funny ideas like, can we change the color of our laptop? Why does IBM always provide this Lenovo black laptop? Why can't we get Apple white laptop or some other color laptop? I'm sick of this black color. So all these kind of ideas do come. Some you would have to park, some you have to see how it fits into your overall organizational objectives. Does organization realizes that if it changes the climate to support the team, then the team would pay back. So for happy clients, you need happy employees. Huh? Okay, next one is consequences. Is there an established system based on rewards and recognition? There has to be, and the project manager has to have a better say into this reward and recognition, because he's the best person to know who is working, in what capacity, how he or she is contributing on the project. If there are negative results, do we or the team understand what could be the consequences if there would be negative results? Then I touched this point earlier as well, that the team has to be connected. They should know how their work is contributing to meet either the project outcome or the organizational goals. Then comes your coordination. This is something like nowadays most of the organization work in the agile way. So it becomes important, especially in the agile environment, that we have an established mechanism to coordinate among the team, where the outcome is being delivered, I understand, on a weekly basis. How do we coordinate? How do we consolidate that outcome? Okay, if some assistance is needed, where the team member should go, and is the right hierarchy in place for that particular project. Lastly, creative innovation. And this is a buzzword. People say, oh, everyone talking about innovation, and is it really something changing on the ground? So I'll touch a little bit more on this topic today, but I can tell you that innovation is not, while the name itself sees, you can make out from the name that, oh, it's a big thing, we are talking about innovation. But even if you are able to improve certain aspect of your project, certain mundane tasks which you do, day-to-day routine tasks, you automate it. You come up with certain new ideas, you refine it. So that a small piece could also be a small innovation. So I think we need to understand the definition of innovation, that innovation is not about only that we change the face of the complete organization, we change everything. Innovation we can bring it into our work by doing small bits and pieces. Like I can give you example from my own team. So every time there is an issue, they would look through the logs, and there would be maybe 25 different application servers, and to locate where the issue is, they would work through the logs and on all those 25 application servers, and it would take them easily 1 hour, 1.5 hours to go through the logs on those 25 application servers. But now what they did, they came up with a smart portal. What does a smart portal do is it will talk to each of these application servers, scan through the logs, and give you red, amber, or green status in one console for all the 25 application servers. And it will happen on a click of a button. So hardly take 60 seconds. So the job which was being done by 3 people earlier in 1.5 hours, now one level 1 or a level 2 person will just click on a button, will get you the outcome, and will report to its senior or a subject matter expert that these are the areas where I can see certain issues, can you look into it. This is innovation. This is exactly what innovation is. So I think it's more of a mindset change. So I think for a management, they should simulate this culture. They should provide the right training and resources so that new ideas can foster. And it has to start from the management side where we treat each and every employee as a change agent. So I'll touch a little bit more on this innovation part, and as a project manager or a leader, how do you ask yourself whether your team believes that the culture is really innovation friendly? You got a success in a project, you got some learnings out of it, but are you satisfied after that and becoming complacent? Or you are raising the bar? You are further challenging the team. Are we inwardly focused? Whatever we are doing is best, don't look outside. These guys don't know how to deliver software projects. We know the best. So I think that should be avoided. Do we punish risk takers who fail? Sometime back, one of our vice president in IBM, she started this thing that next time there is a failure, I want to know whether this failure happened because someone tried a new way or it was purely a mistake. If you can prove to me that it was because someone was trying a new way of doing, I don't have a problem. I won't punish the guy. I would rather reward that person. And this thing kicked in like anything in the team. And now what I see is a culture building up in the team where they are more open to try different things. They are not hesitant in taking the risk because they know even if they fail, their leaders are with them. I think we talk about it. Then comes how do we handle new ideas? I give you an example of that idea box. We got too many ideas. And what happened actually when I put that idea box? I asked one of the coordinator on a weekly basis if you can go through these ideas and then probably summarize it and share it with me. I was a little surprised that after a month, I would hardly see maybe around 10 ideas in the beginning. I checked with the coordinator, are you saying me that 250 people in last 4 weeks only generated 10 ideas? I was hoping much more, at least one idea per week from one employee. She said, no, the ideas were too many, but I have taken them off the list. Why you have taken them off the list? Because some were duplicate, some were not making sense. Idea is an idea. You cannot decide that it is not a fit in the organization. I think still we have to keep that idea in the list. Only thing what we can do with ideas are we can prioritize them. If we are really open to ideas, we cannot discard any idea. We have to only prioritize them And now we get funny ideas, we get junk ideas, whatever, but it is there in the list and we discuss it on a weekly basis. And what we do, we only prioritize the idea and we reward the person whose idea is getting implemented. Okay, so this is something I just prepared a quick checklist for project managers or project leaders. Is one is just ensure that the risk taking is acceptable. New ideas, new ways of doing are welcome. Information is free flowing. Employees have access to knowledge sources. And good ideas are supported by executive patterns. And obviously, the person who brings in that idea or the innovator, he or she is being rewarded. So I think that's all from my side. I'll just leave you with this thing, and I think some of you might have seen it earlier, but for those who haven't seen it, I think just spend a minute on it. And with that, I'm done. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
So I have a question for you. You were talking about a skill set matching. So I've generally seen that there are people who are very good in their domain and they are very good as individual contributors. But after certain years of experience, as per our industry, we put them into leadership roles and sometimes they fail. So how do you take care of such situations in your projects?
Okay. Since I have been with the IBM for almost 8 years now, I'll try to answer it how IBM deals with it, and I think it might give you certain ideas how you can manage that in your projects or in your organization. In IBM, for the technical people, we have a separate track. We don't encourage our technical people to go into line management unless somebody is really keen and we see certain traits that yes, he or she would be a good line manager and can really go into management role. For technical people, they got similar bands. When I say bands, I don't know how it works in IRIS, but we do have bands like band 6, band 7, band 8, 9, 10, band D. Even for technical people, they can go through those bands. Generally, an upline manager in IBM would be at band 8. When I say upline, he is the maybe at a 2 level up, like there is a team, first line manager and a second line manager. So that second line manager would be at a band 8 level. Any technical person who is a subject matter expert, SME, is also actually a band 8. He can now even go into band 9, band 10, even band D, which is a director level position, being in his technical role itself. And in that, that person is given a separate title once he or she reaches into band D, that is distinguished engineer. And it is the most prestigious designation in IBM. If you see somebody with a title distinguished engineer, it means he is the one who knows his technology better than anyone else in the world today. And he or she is a band D. Band D is a director. And in IBM, if you look on the management side, band D would be a person who is actually controlling maybe around 20,000 or 25,000 people. So IBM has this solution. They want to see the technical people to retain their technical knowledge and spread that technical knowledge among the team. And they separate out line management, that you are fit for management, you are fit for technical role, and that's how they manage. So I think something similar can happen.
So first of all, thank you, sir, for sharing all your knowledge with us. Just in continuation to what you said, that you identify like who wants to be a part of the technical stuff, who wants to go into that management line. So if we talk about a team, right, you have a certain technology that you're working on, which is kind of new to the market. And you're still into that process of identifying people who are technically good into that, or who are more of, you can say, team players there, right? So there might be you can say, a certain stage where the interests might conflict, right? In a way that if there's a technical person who is really good at his skill, you have got to know that over the period of time. But then, somewhere down the line, he's not able to gel well with the team. And it's still early enough to put him into a certain responsible position, even though technically. So, how to go about that? How do you still ensure that we have still some time to get him into a responsible position, even on the technical side? Till that time, how do we manage to work as a team?
So, if I understand your question, challenge is that you got a good technical person, may not be gelling well in the team, may not be of that level of a team player, but you need him badly. So how do you sustain?
Exactly.
And see, this is not, I would say, only you are facing that challenge. I think each one of us would have been either facing that challenge today or might have faced in past. But here comes the role of your manager, the project manager, project leader. He has to coach and mentor that person that why it is important to work in a team environment. I can maybe give you another example if you allow a few minutes.
Sure.
Okay. There is a small story actually. There used to be a man in China, an old man, and he used to daily carry 2 pots on his shoulder, maybe from a kilometer to his house. So he will fill in the water in those 2 pots, bring it to his house on a daily basis. Okay, but one pot was broken, and by the time he would come from his place from where he used to get the water to his home, the half of the water is actually gone. So he would only end up with 1.5 pot of water on a daily basis, and he has been doing it for 2 years. The pot which was broken really felt ashamed that it's been 2 years. I'm a broken pot. My master take me daily, and what I'm giving him? Only half a pot of water, while the other pot is perfect. He's giving 1 pot of water. Then this old man explained to that pot, see, I know I got a perfect pot. I also know that you are a broken one, but I cannot let you go. And the reason being, I am using you. And then he was confused, how you are using me? I'm even just creating problem for you. He said, daily when I bring water, you keep spilling that water alongside. What I did, I just planted certain seeds there, and daily when I take you through that path, those seeds have really now become plants, and I get beautiful flowers out of those plants, and I decorate my house, as well as my path is decorated with these beautiful flowers now. So what I mean to say, that I think the person who is perfect, who is technically very sound, he should not underestimate the second person in the team. He might or may not be able to deliver the same results, but he is also having some worth. May not be in the eyes of that technical person, but in the eyes of his manager. So I think it's a challenge, and the manager has to use his managerial skills to explain that technical person that he has to be a team player. There is no other option.
Thank you.